I recognize them more quickly than probably ever before. But that was through a lot of things that have happened in my life to get to that point. So I don't think anyone can ever take away my trauma. I think it will always be there, and it's part of who I am as a person. But I do think that it's much easier for me when I'm in a group where people understand trauma versus a group where people don't get it at all. Because when I'm in a room with people who understand trauma and I'm having a hard moment, nobody's like, hey, what's wrong with you? Let me fix this. People know I need space and can read that versus, well, why are you so sad today? Like, you have nothing to be sad about because I have this great, beautiful life from the outside, right? But that can be hard because there's other stuff going on behind the scenes. So the end game for me is getting more people to understand trauma and changing. For me, I'm working on specific things in the foster care system to change to make kids' lives better. For me, that's the ultimate goal. Even if it's one kid, we have to make kids' lives better. And then my bigger vision is the community and working with groups on resiliency as a community and getting all the players on board. I think there's some pockets who get it. A lot of educators are on board and are like, yes, let's move forward. This is great. We know exactly. And there's other pockets of groups and individuals that are a little bit more reluctant to come on board that need to see it and understand it, like business owners, and how adults who aren't showing up for their shifts might have trauma that's affecting that, and how that really does affect their bottom line, how trauma really does involve business owners, and how that plays out in their bottom line. So I think there's more people that come to the conversation still. But it's these little things to get a conversation moving.
Thank you, Shen. I know that there are a lot more questions, and again, this is just kind of a taste, an appetizer. It is an opportunity for this group of people, this community, this region, our state, our world, our civilization to begin thinking about how we interact with each other and why we do the things we do. I do have the mandated reporter phone number. If you'd like that, I can give it to you after. There is a list of people. However, the bigger piece here is, how do we want to be together? How do we want to handle it? How do we want to raise our children? Collectively, these are all of our children. These are all of our families. We are all people here together at this time.
Who become adults.
Who become adults.
Kids become adults.
And our voters, and then our leaders are, hopefully productive citizens. So thank you, Shen, for your time today. And I know we have one announcement from Kathy. If you want to take a moment to share your announcement.
Sure, I'm the Kathy that was in the meeting with Shen this morning. Most recently, I was with the Family Division Court in Grand Traverse County, but I'm no longer there because I have this wonderful task of building a Northern Michigan Regional Resilience Network. I'm going to give you a couple of really quick resources. One, May 2nd, State Theater, 6 p.m., Traverse City. We're going to be showing a documentary called Paper Tigers. It's about how the ACE study, a principal went to a conference, learned about it, and completely revamped everything he did in the high school that he was at. That was an alternative high school, inner city, had lots of violence, low graduation rates, and completely changed the face of that high school. So I invite you to please come to that.
What time?
6 p.m., May 2nd. Also, please, a great resource in regards to adverse childhood experiences and building resilience, because that's the other half of this, is if you go to aceconnections.com, it is a network, a digital network that's international, that has funding, and there's blogs and research and articles and all sorts of stuff every day on there. So I encourage you to go there. Lastly, the Regional Resilience Coalition that we're working to build. First task is to take an inventory of what are we doing in our region in regards to strengthening families, in regards to building resilience. And we're talking about prenatal to end of life. If any of you know Grand Traverse Pavilions, I have a friend over there, Jen Hutchinson. Jen was talking to me the other day. They're training social workers at the pavilions because what they're finding is when people get to the end of their life, all of a sudden these stories of these adverse childhood experiences that they had are coming out, and it could be very harmful to their families, or with the social worker there who's able to help frame that conversation, it can be very healing, and all of a sudden you have adult children saying, now I understand what your addiction was about. Now I understand why you were so passive aggressive. Now I get it. And there's a healing then of those adult children who are most likely parents themselves of maybe adult children. And it goes on and on. So the healing, the resilience being built has to be built from way back here, prenatally, to end of life. So that's the task that we have ahead of us as a region. It's not just about identifying the trauma, but it's also making sure that we're in a community that is working hard to build a resilient community of people. Last resource, if you go to Harvard's Developing Child, Center for the Developing Child, they did a fantastic study. It's called, I think, working paper number 13. Essentially, they found out three things build resilience and head off these adverse childhood experiences. Three main things for children. So we have Shen, who has success and has this beautiful life despite horrendous trauma that occurred to her. And then we have youth that are in our juvenile justice system or in our adult prisons. So what's the difference between those two? Resilience. Resilience is one, maybe some genetic stuff, some environment stuff, definitely these three things. Number one thing they found that builds resilience in a child. One, not two, not three, only one relationship with an adult that is positive and stable. One. And it can be any adult, and that relationship, if it's handed off in a positive, sustainable way to another adult, it can change. It doesn't have to be the same adult for the entire lifetime of that child. It can be handed off. So think about that. You know, who in your life was your stable positive? Because all of us have probably had opportunities that have brought us here in regards to building our resilience. Second one is to be part of a faith or cultural tradition. Again, it's about community, it's about people, it's about stability and relationship, positive, safe relationship. And the third one is mastery over life skills. And they say part of that is if you master a skill, you then actually rewire your brain to get out of fight, flight, freeze mode. You rewire your brain to actually be in a place that you're mastering this skill. Your brain begins to work differently. So life over mastery, or mastery over life skills. So those three things, I hope I see all of you at Paper Tigers. And my contact information to send me resources, Trish will. People get it?
That's me. I'll give it to you.
She'll give it to you. So please send me everything that you're doing so that can be part of this inventory. We can't begin to look at where our gaps are and what we need to build resilience if we don't know what services are existing. So, thank you.
Kathy, before you sit down, I'd like to tell everybody that the League of Women Voters, Leelanau County, has contributed $100 to bringing Paper Tigers here. They needed to have funding to so we are supporting that cause.
One more announcement. The TED Talk, the video that we didn't get to watch, will be on the League of Women Voters website.
Great. So that resource will be available on the website, on
Yes.
the Women Voters website. Great. Thank you for your time. In all things, there are hope and possibility, and I hope to see you all soon. Take care.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. I'll be here. I'll be over here. If anybody's interested, I'll even sign it.